paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And
I
yes,
don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into Brainstorm Brewery. We are back. I'm Corbin Hostler, joined by my co-host, Cass, DJ, and Jason. It's all four of us here.
Everyone is watching this podcast.
Lots of everyone's.
You said everyone.
Well, I said hello to everyone watching.
Corbin
It's not
sends
exact.
a direct link of this show to Vladimir Putin every week.
I can
Correct.
Jason
I have a
server
backdoor
somehow.
directly to Vladimir Putin.
Corbin appreciates Vladimir Putin's backdoor.
Yeah.
Huh.
What a way for the show to start. Thanks, DJ, for Vladimir Putin's backdoor.
Some people are saying, that's all I'm saying.
Would that be
I've
the
spent
time?
the last 10 years slowly drinking this 4-pack. Always on this podcast. So this is the last Dark Horse Quantum Leap. This one's about 11 years old. So we'll
Is
see
that
how this
safe?
goes. I have no idea.
What's our ER plan here? Do we call 911 if you just start convulsing on the show?
No, we just let him. God.
Yeah, that would be kinder.
We have to send it as a
This way
Patreon.
too.
Would be a mercy.
No, we have the 911 call be a Patreon goal.
It's
A flash
as little
goal.
as $20
Flash
or
goal.
$25 a month.
This tastes very
You can
boozy.
save Jason's life.
Poisony? Is it poisony?
I mean, booze is poison, so yeah, it's very boozy.
It's like one time I looked into getting a buddy of mine a Surge because that was the drink that we used to drink when we would land back in high school.
Yeah.
The
And then
precursor to Panera Lemonade, if you will.
it's the precursor to like energy drinks,
Yeah.
right? Like energy. It was like
For people who
more
drink
hard-
Mountain Dew and they're like, it don't.
yes, it was
for
more
me.
hardcore Mountain Dew is what it was before you could chug Red Bull or drink alcohol. You know. Anyway,
It
got
was the Skype of energy drinks.
it got discontinued pretty quickly. Well, it was like pre-energy
The
drinks.
Zune.
The point is, I looked into getting it for someone one time as like a fun throwback, and that's when I learned that soda is actually incredibly toxic after like 10 years. So that's why I'm asking if you're going to die from drinking this beer. I know you can drink
Okay,
wine
so
when it's
here's the
400
thing.
years old.
Here's the
but
thing. Sodium and potassium benzoate are used as preservatives.
no. Speak English.
Corbin, shut the up.
Let Bill Nye
Preservatives,
talk.
Corbin. Preservatives are used
Thank
to
you, Jason.
preserve things. Sodium and potassium benzoate are used as preservatives in. I'm not going to say soda on this podcast. Fuck that. Is preservatives in pop and
Soft drinks.
soft drinks, and the ones with the more acid are the especially in the syrup, like concentrated in the syrup. The more acid there is, the more likely it is to turn that potassium or sodium benzoate into benzene, which is a carcinogenic chemical. So if you don't like the taste of cyclohexane, like a lot of you probably do not, and you're worried, hey, is there any acid in pop? Well, there sure is. There's carbonic and ascorbic acid. And ascorbic acid is especially good at turning potassium benzoate into benzene. So lemon, lime, stuff like that. You'll notice around 10, 15 years ago, 7-Up was the first one. It was like, oh, no unnatural preservatives or whatever. And then Sprite followed suit. They're all like, hey, we don't use potassium benzoate in this anymore. Because of that was a thing they discovered just like in the early 2000s. For the love
Did
of
you
God,
guys
like,
know Sierra Mist rebranded to Mist Twist?
Mist
and
Twist,
then
yeah.
And then unbranded back to Sierra Mist and nobody noticed?
Aren't
No,
they
they were
now?
starry.
Now it's Starry. No, it is Starry now.
Yeah. It's worse now, though. It was bad before, but it's worse now. I think it's the same. I just like it less.
Jason,
It
that
was
was
already
like
the mom at home of...
It sucks so bad to be the Pepsi of everything.
Yeah.
Jason, that was
Nobody-
like
Go ahead. What?
well, that was like Star Trek levels of technobabble, man.
It really wasn't, Corbin. That was like That was like the stuff I learned in chemistry in like 4th grade, brother.
Great.
I know you're from like Idaho where they don't have education and like you barely have running water.
They showed us a picture of how a microscope works.
49th in education. Thank you very much. My state is.
Who's
No, you
50th
should be
again?
thanking
It's either-
Mississippi.
I think it's Alabama.
I
It's
don't
gotta be
know
Mississippi.
who's last this year. I just know the most recent rankings we were 49th.
Okay.
But I went
How
to
do they
private
test that?
school where they didn't teach us any of that there science. They taught us about God, evolving humans.
Yeah, you just wrote. They were
Via
doing.
God.
Honestly, they were like 24th, 23rd in the country at English and reading, and then when it came to the science portion, they wrote "God done did it" for every question, and put them back in. They got 50% of the test wrong.
It's crazy that having abstinence class instead of biology class or chemistry class led to me not knowing what
Abstinence class.
what sodium
You are so good at not
barbitento
fucking.
means.
Corbin
He
got an A.
has 2 accidents.
They're God's mistakes.
He had an A, and then he had his first kid, and he got a B, and now he's down to a C.
But C's get degrees.
A is for after hours.
Nah, this is all main show because this is Brainstorm Brewery where we talk about all that and then we talk about Mystery Boosters 2 and the absolute.
I don't think I should call my wife a on the podcast. Is all I'm saying.
So I think it's so awesome that Mystery Booster 2 is going to have like, I don't know, 15,000 SKUs that your local game store gets to just like trundle through. You just get to really slog through the horse. Every card maybe is foil or future. We don't actually know yet. Just like a full 3,000 lines on a spreadsheet for this set. And we don't even get to sell it and make money on it on the front half. Customer comes in and says, hey, you want to buy this walking ballista? And I'm like, that doesn't look like a real Magic card. None of them look real. Don't get me wrong. It's a very cool product. Like, I would love to play this at a convention, but also, where's the juice? Where's the squeeze? Where is anybody supposed to enjoy this? Like, why is game stores are we carrying WotC products?
It's all that, like, everything that's not in a time spiral or a time spiral block. What was that? Future Sight? Anything that's not in a Future Sight frame didn't need to get reprinted. Did we need another Teferi Time Raveler or another Preordain?
Just make it something we can sell in stores. Just let us buy boxes of it and sell it so that it's worth it for us that this exists.
I don't like how they just have devalued the product so much. Like, every booster box is $400 and every rare is 12 cents. Even the stuff that's good because it gets played a lot in EDH, they just go on EDH rack and like, cool, reprint all that. Like,
Cost of packs from WotC never goes down, only goes up.
If we're gonna pay this much for boxes, it can't be because like, oh, here's a card that we've printed 7 times in the last 2 years, but now it has different art.
There are several very good reprints in this set, but I'm not advocating that the product in the end will be like Rot Hulk, excellent. Rot Hulk Future Frame, we love that.
Yeah.
Underworld Breach for the alternate frame, sure, that's fine.
Norwood Priestess, Show and Tell, Chain of Vapor, those are all sick.
Yes.
But like, do we need another Sabo's Web?
The actual
Leyline
issue with this,
Leyline of the Void is what, like $2, something like that? Before this?
The actual shtick with this isn't even the problem of like they're reprinting cards too much. We already knew that. The problem is that this set is cumbersome and difficult for anybody who's doing anything beyond selling cards out of their backpack or their basement.
Yes.
Scanning apps.
And like
There is a huge
scanning apps.
There's a huge gap between what Cash just said of like person selling cards out of their backpack and then like stores with multiple Rokas, and everyone in between gets screwed.
Well, it's like I have multiple staff members who I think are super competent, who are learning Magic pretty well relative to how long they've been involved in it. And this is just a curveball. If someone walks in with one of these walking ballistas that has like art that looks like it's overblown on a frame that doesn't look right, is my staff supposed to know that's a real card?
Because so many people have been making realistic proxies that look like this shit for years.
Yeah.
I would just assume this stuff was fake if I didn't. I have seen more proxies in Future Sight frames that look like this Demonic Consultation or this Walking Ballista than I've seen real Magic cards that look like that.
And like I said, if this was the kind of thing that I could order 100 boxes and put them on my shelf and sell them and people in my store opened them, that alleviates so many of the problems because the people who are actually engaging with this product are the people in my store. Not someone who goes to a convention, comes back with a draft deck, has a demonic consultation, and tries to sell it to us, and my employee's like, this is fake. That's just like a bad experience for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just gonna, you can call it plain devil's advocate, not necessarily a counterpoint to anything y'all are saying, but
Anything you say is devil's advocate while you're chewing, Corbin. Anything out of your mouth.
Why don't you just
What you eating? What you eating? You eating some corn nuts there, buddy?
Yeah. Or just
What is
corn.
it?
I didn't think I was gonna have anything to say, but then I did.
But what you eating? I'm actually curious. I'm hungry.
Tell us.
Oh, goldfish cheddar, classic. I would have gone with a different. I like the pizza ones personally, but goldfish cheddar, that's a classic, man.
No, I with those, especially when they're fresh.
Fuck, I'm heavy with the snack that smells
Did you
back.
say
Let me tell
especially
you,
when they're fresh?
Yeah,
it's true. When you open a fresh thing of them, they are way better. They get stale so quick.
Yeah, like these boxes are pretty good and not going stale, but like, especially when you have kids, man, you just end up they up the food. And...
No, you gotta buy the. But at Costco, they sell you 2 foil bags, and one of those foil bags will refill that carton. So you just keep the carton and then you fill it up Costco style. So I have like a 5-year-old carton we're still using.
Okay.
I love fishes because it's so delicious.
I don't think this is really necessarily a counterpoint to anything you all are saying, but convention exclusives are cool. People at the conventions have been very clear that they love the unknown events with Gavin, whatever those are called, because it's a convention exclusive experience. People loved convention exclusive mystery boosters the first time around because of this. So I just don't know. Like, DJ's right. Like, for the big stores with multiple Rokas, it's whatever. It's going to all be automated anyway.
To some extent, there's an asterisk on that, because there are also cards in this set that big stores have just completely opted out of dealing with. I know there's one card in this set. I don't know the joke. I don't know the inner joke, but it's the Scars of Mirrodin Blue Common.
It's because the creature line is Beast in German, and it's Bestie, and it's like the most generic vanilla beast card of all time or something, but it's just the type line is Bestie.
Is that literally the joke?
I'm almost certain, because that card is just a vanilla 1/4 for blue from Scars of Mirrodin. The German translation of Beast is Bestie.
I mean, the name of the card is also long, but that's not unique to it. That's just German language for a lot of cards. But
I guess that's interesting. I guess.
And so, Corbin, the rest of my sentence is
go ahead.
Star City has declined to put that card on their website because it would require them to make an entirely separate category in the catalog of non-English Planeswalker stamped cards, because this card does not exist in English in the set.
And no one's going to buy the card.
Well, that's the point. I just don't think Wizards really cares, you guys, right? Like they don't care that Stars. Yeah, I mean, like they don't. But also, like, it doesn't really affect like. I don't know how many like actual outside of headaches for people in a group of, vendors are negatively impacted here, right? Like the players are going to be happy at the events. Wizards certainly isn't going to.
The problem with all of these devil advocates arguments is that they just ignore the fact that LGSs are the lifeblood of Magic, and they still continue to be.
I mean, okay, but like, what's going to happen, right? Like, if you're Wizards and the LGSs are annoyed with you because mystery boosters exist, like, because aren't stores also talking about having too much Shield product left rotting on shelves? Like, it just seems like...
As a business owner, at what point do you pull out? What point do you stop being a business owner in this industry and put your money literally anywhere else?
I mean, I don't know.
Love of the game only goes so far.
Yes, if Wizards had that... I mean, we were all just coming back from pre-releases where we talked about how they're full of new people, they're maxing out. Like, I just don't know that's... Like, that doesn't seem to be a concern Wizards is like having.
We would like to see some indication from the new CEO that they understand that the LGS model is there for a reason. As long as they're going to continue to sell paper Magic cards, which I think they should do.
Well, they're definitely doing that. Do you all were mystery boosters the first run of them when they came retail edition? Was that popular for stores?
I believe so. I did not have a store at that point. That was a little bit before my time.
The pre-release was miserable because everyone's like, "Oh, I cracked this," and I looked on eBay and it's $500. I'll sell it to you for $150.
I don't like.
That's a future dollar card.
But yeah, it kind of felt to me like it was a cool deal when they did it at conventions, and then when they brought it to stores, it was kind of like, okay, it's nice that there's like reprints on some of these or whatever, but like it kind of took away what was special about it.
Even today, it is a product that my customers love. Like, I sell through Mystery Booster fairly well in my store. Granted, I have a store that is located in a place where people who buy booster packs kind of walk in a lot. But, like, Mystery Booster products are very cool. And I think it's the kind of thing that, like, my only real qualm with it is that the stores don't have access to it. And if a year down the line they give stores access to it, I'll have a lot less of an issue with it. But if it never comes to a store, if it never comes to LGS's, like, I don't know what we're doing.
If you don't get to sell it, but you do have to deal with the consequences of having really weird singles come in off the street, then it's just like
it's also like there are singles in Magic that are going to be devalued by this, right? And like as a store, my goal is to have as many cards in stock for my customers as possible. Like, and every Rashad port I have in stock now is worth less, and like that's fine. That's the cost of doing business. But I also don't get to sell the sealed product. And that's normally why it's okay. That's normally why I stomach it, right? That's why I'm okay with the cards that I have in stock for my customers devaluing in price, because I also get to sell sealed product, and it balances it out in some way.
Yeah, I get that. I guess secret layers fall into the same boat, though, right? Like, those are sold directly by Wizards to consumers. Half of them don't look like Magic cards, and they still walk into your store and have a price.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same thing, right? Like, it's
no,
the same
I'm
issue.
not like, that's what I'm making the parallel there. It's the same trend of direct to, cutting out the LGS, if you want to look at it that way. I do think it's particularly hard with the convention exclusive stuff, because that is how you make the conventions feel good and how you make people want to spend $400 or $500 just to get in or whatever, is having convention exclusives. So maybe having them 6 months down the line is sort of a middle ground they'll find. But who knows? Obviously, they have data on how well it went over last time. People are upset about it this time around. But we'll see where things go from here on that. What about the new CEO? And have you all heard anything? Has there been anyone know of any public announcements or anything since they took over?
I heard he hit a bear with his car and then left its body in Central Park.
And then ran for president.
Well, unlike the last CEO, I don't think he's had a worm eat his brain, so I think he might be better.
It's John Haidt from Blizzard Entertainment. Ah, not great.
No, but apparently this person has a good reputation.
Sure.
Yeah, when people were doing rampant sexual harassment at Blizzard, he went, "Hey."
I was told that this person was well liked within Blizzard, which is hard to do.
One last... Sorry, can I throw one more note in about Mystery Booster, too?
Yeah.
The fact that arena-only cards are being printed into paper, I think, is very cool from the standpoint of I am somebody who likes Magic cards and thinks that Magic cards are cool. It is so terrible in the standpoint of people already occasionally come in and be like, hey, I'd like to buy this card, and it's an arena-only card. But some of them are real.
Yeah, that is.
And I think that, like, that's just me kvetching. That's just me being crotchety and old.
What was the arena card?
It's like a 3-mana 5/5. You have to discard a card when you cast it. It's got.
There are some really cool arena. There's some really cool arena cards. I'm not gonna lie. I would love for some of them to exist in paper.
For sure. I wanted to complain about it because I have a platform, and what's the point of having a podcast if you can't complain about things?
Secret Lair arena cards, legal for modern, printed demand.
Sells out in 4 minutes.
Printed demand. Limited time, 1 month.
You know what? See what you want about the fact that the Monty Python stuff sold out in 4 minutes because it was delivered in 4 days. Like, everyone has got their Monty Python secret layer. I have never gotten a secret layer that I didn't forget I ordered.
Well,
every time I've gotten a secret layer, I'm like, what the is this? Because it's been so long since I placed the order.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the people doing the arena direct challenges or whatever they're called, some people dumped hundreds of dollars into arena to play these events that awarded real prizes, right? You could win literal booster boxes by doing well on arena.
The MH3 ones, yeah.
Yeah, and people went really hard on it, and they've just apparently some amount of people have not gotten the boxes and not had good communication like a month or more later, And like some people
Zoinks.
straight up were like, I plan on selling these boxes. And now I'm not sure the EV of paying in or arena events to get boxes to sell in person is fully what I would recommend doing. But the point is there seem to be some real consequences to it. So I guess it's good that they've got it figured out in one part of the company.
We want more people to play arena. Why don't we incentivize them to play arena? You got to make sure it's a
great
good
idea
experience.
Yeah, it's a great idea though, right?
Yeah.
Like I absolutely love that you can now, and we've talked about this many years ago about what a good system in the future might look like. You can go to the pre-release, get an arena code for free packs. You can play on arena and win paper Magic cards. Now you can talk about how it's all within Wizards and they're shipped directly to you and it doesn't involve an LGS in that case. But they also have been running go draft in your LGS 2 times this month, get free stuff on arena. Like I think they've actually been doing a pretty good job of the integration. So it would be nice if maybe they could streamline the process here, because they are hitting a lot of the notes right, but they need to execute on them well.
Ideally, people would play both.
Right. Well, that's what
And
people
like,
love
it's more common for people who play a lot of arena to also play paper, because that's how everyone got introduced. It's been tougher to move people into arena. So like, I think incentivizing, like, look, you can grind an event whenever and like earn stuff that you can use IRL at those events too. It's a great system, but if people are getting toothbrushes instead of their foil sheets, they're not going to be happy.
Well, and also for what it's worth, the Arena Championship Series, which is the equivalent of a Pro Tour, but arena only, was 32 players. And I don't know exactly how you'd call it equivalent to Pro Tour at that point, but it is expanding in the future to like over 100 people. No, to like over 100 people.
To 128.
With more money involved. So the point is they're putting more resources into the arena ecosystem of play.
More money.
Yeah, there you go. That's the pitch, Jason.
In a world where there are 128 players battling for one money.
So
all played Boro synergy.
One of the things about converting paper players to arena is just how cumbersome and prohibitive it is to build a real deck on arena. Yeah. Like, obviously in paper it's expensive, but it's also kind of the same price to build a deck on arena for your first deck. Like, if you're talking about standard specifically, one of the things is like you get an arena code in your pre-release kits for like a couple packs, I think.
Yes, 3 packs.
And I know that Pokemon's whole thing is that they're a lifestyle brand and they want you doing everything Pokemon all the time. They give you a free booster pack code in every real pack because they want you to buy the dinner plates on Pokemon Center. I get that. But also, almost every single person I know who plays Pokemon TCG also plays Pokemon TCG online because it is basically free to play if you're a paper player.
Because of how many packs you've opened?
Yeah, or even just like all the people who open lots of packs just have extra codes to give away. It's just it's one of those things where if you wanted to buy into Pokemon TCG online and paper at the same time, you could probably build the same deck in paper and online for like $60, and it's the best deck in the format. And like that's hard to compete with when you have a better IP, a fraction of the cost, and the game is the best it's ever been right now. Like, I know that Magic is growing all the time, but there's also just so much competition in so many spaces. And I think that we're going to see some push come to shove at some point where people who are very enfranchised just have better options. Magic's the greatest game of all time, but is it the greatest game of all time to play?
It hasn't made me feel good in a couple of years, that's for sure.
I say this also coming off of Bloomborough being one of my favorite Magic sets of all time, right? Like, I get the humor in that. Like, the thing about Magic cards is all the new cards are awesome, but the way that I interact with them as somebody who plays the game, I feel terrible all the time.
I got a feeling my kids would rather play the Pokemon TCG than Magic also. Magic's gonna be a little bit of a tougher sell.
They're all shaped like friends.
That's always been true, yeah.
I mean, Bloomborough, they're all shaped like friends, too.
It's true.
Oh, are we not supposed to be sexually attracted to the Bloomborough? I thought they were making Magic's first horny set for perverts.
Why would it be
I love that we're doing Bloomborough and getting a bunch of people who like soft, sweet aesthetics and like little critters, and the next set is just going to be like Freddy Krueger, baby, Freddy Krueger slasher flick,
a house
gore.
that eats people. Yeah,
Right.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm super excited for that set, but also it's some whiplash for new players, I'm sure.
It'll be fun.
I play Mrs. Bumbleflower and pass the turn. Oh, sorry. The bed
You
that
activated
chews
my
people.
chainsaw.
Yeah, right. You've activated my floor-based chainsaw. Oh, you stepped on a landmine I set for Freddy Krueger. Yeah.
I play Gun.
I hope the
Gun
thing
is
about-
an equipment, probably not a spell. Is there a gun? Is there a revolver in Clue or no?
Thunder Junction has some guns.
They have lightning
Those are like
slingers.
those stupid Halo swords, though.
If there's a gun, it's got to be in like Warhammer, right?
Oh yeah,
Unless
well
there's,
there are guns in Portal Second Age also.
Okay,
But,
there's
like-
no cards with rifle.
But I was like, was there like legitimately like a card called, because there's like knife and rope like that from the Clue set. Was there a
There's a-
revolver in that?
There's a card from Fallout called Gunner Conscript, which does have a gun.
Yeah, because they're a gunner.
Fallout.
Right.
Yeah.
Gunners are just raiders with better gear. Did you know that?
I do now.
Preston Garvey Minuteman has a somewhat
Laser musket.
He
It's
has
a
a
laser
shin-
musket.
He has a Shinzo Abe rifle.
A doohickey, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, that guy was using a Fallout pipe pistol for sure. I've seen like with the VATS, like Shinzo Abe with like VATS 82%.
There's a lot of guns
To
in,
hit, shit
in
like
the
that.
Fallout set. Over Encumbered has like an actual turret machine gun thing.
Doesn't one of the cards have like a blunderbuss on it?
Everybody had a blunderbuss in Portal Second Age.
Overseer of Vault 76 is like a staple gun on steroids.
Yeah,
Hey,
Desdemona has a pretty big gun in her art too, I think.
We can do whatever we want now, y'all. We got everything coming out of the TVs in Duskmorn. It's going to be amazing.
Do any Marvel characters have guns? Agent Fury, maybe? He's just a cell phone.
Captain America.
Does he
Captain
have a
America
gun?
has a gun.
What? He has 2 guns.
Falcon. The Falcon Captain America carries a gun. Actually,
Oh,
when
cool.
Bucky was Captain America for a little bit after Civil War, and Bucky had a gun.
Are there guns? I got it. I did a little. I did it for you, Corbin. I got you.
Thank you,
I see what
guys.
you're. I see what you're cooking.
I see your skinny white arms. You go outside. You live on the surface of the sun, and you're the palest person I've ever seen.
It's too hot to go outside.
You know what else is too hot? These breaking bulks.
These breaking bulks. That was a good
hottest
one.
transition since the other one.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
All right, Cass, you earned it. Go ahead. Why don't you start it off?
My breaking bulk is not good this week, but I think it's a card that I've been getting in bulk a lot that I probably shouldn't be getting in bulk. It is a Wilds of Eldraine green uncommon.
Does it have the word breadcrumbs in it?
No.
Spitballing.
Is it a creature?
No.
It's not a creature. Is it the Curse of the Candy Cane or whatever?
The banned card.
No,
No,
not
that's
band
the-
card.
The Curse of the Candy Cane thing, I think, is the one from the Jumpstart.
Oh.
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Night of Sweet's Revenge, maybe?
Nope.
Shoot. What am I thinking of? It's a food card, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Feeling hungry?
Confectionery.
Nope. I'm gonna call it. Y'all have done a lot of guessing.
All right.
It's Up the Beanstalk.
No
That's what I
way.
No. I
Get
said the
outta
band.
here.
Stop. I said the band card. I got that one.
Oh, you did? I didn't actually
Yeah.
hear that.
I couldn't remember what it was called off the top of my head, but band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
up
you
the
said no. You
beanstalk.
said no. It wasn't. You said it wasn't the band card. So
Oh.
okay, that's fine.
I didn't hear him say the band card. I just was saying no to what he was saying because I didn't hear him. It is up the beanstalk. The card's like $150 still, despite being banned in Modern. Still sees Standard play occasionally, sees Legacy play occasionally, and just like is a good card draw engine in Commander. Card's like $150. You know, direct copies are closing in on $2 after
Pretty
shipping.
nutty.
Any kind of card in that price range, if you have a 6-figure quantity inventory, you should be listing your breaking bulks at $2.99 if you have quantity of them.
Yeah.
That is just pretty much a flat rule on Direct. If you have a large physical inventory, you are leaving money on the table by listing your cards at like any interval of money below the $2.99 threshold most of the time.
So
Okay.
we issue a formal apology to the Corbin hostlers of the world. You said band card. I realized now what I heard was like band as in musicians.
Yep. Which is reasonable because we just talked about how you can do that now. There will be a music crossover.
I just assumed it was like a bard you were talking about.
Yeah, I understand. All right, I'll hop in here next. This one, I'm not going to give you all a color. Okay. It is the only breaking bulk in all of Bloomborough.
What is your price threshold for breaking?
I'm
bulk?
sorry. There's 2 of them.
I feel like I should know this.
This is the
it
uncommon.
the unsummon?
No.
Run away together.
Yeah,
No.
No, it's into the flood maw or whatever. It's the chain
yeah,
of vapor.
the chain of vapor.
Oh.
It is not that. That card is pretty much bulk. It's like 35
That's
cents.
crazy.
Man, I don't.
Is
care.
it the parting gust?
Nope. It's
Parting
really generic.
Parting Gust is the best beast within we've ever had, and it's just nothing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I like Parting Gus, but yeah, you're right about that. No, this is some really stupid banner.
Oh, it's the 3 colorless. Makes a mana of any color. Choose a creature type. They get +1/+1. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, patchwork banner. It's $1.50. It's the only. There's I guess there's actually Flame Lash at common. That's $1. Although I'm not sure if that's in the real set or I think that might be in a separate kind of booster.
I believe that's in the real set.
I've never seen that card drafting.
We can confirm. Oh, that's in Bloomborough. Oh, it's in the starter deck. God.
Yes.
Yeah, and say also like Giant Growth is on this list. Rabid Bite. I've not seen any of these cards drafting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. There's exactly 1 breaking bulk in the set. It's patchwork banner. It's $1.50.
I think it's worth noting there is 1 breaking bulk in the set for now.
Yeah,
right.
This is basically peak supply, or the next couple of weeks will be peak supply.
yeah.
And so
Breaking bulk of the week. Parting Gust.
yeah, if there
into
are,
the
if there
flood
are
malls.
commons and uncommons that you want to pick up, now is the time to get them in bulk. And in terms of like buying quantity, if you're going to use 10 to 20 copies of that the Chain of Vapor thing that gives them a fish, get them for 20 to 30 cents a piece and just get 10 to 15 of them. Now is the time to pardon the pun, squirrel away your picks for Bloomborough.
Well,
The
and
fact
yeah,
that we are like 50 days away, I think, from Duskmorn, if that, we're not going to have a lot of peak Bloomborough opening. Like, this
Yeah.
set's not going to get open for that much longer.
agreed.
Especially with MH3 still kind of being oppressive in people's minds.
Yeah, I agree. Bloomborough definitely is a small little window here. Into the Flood Maw is the second most expensive uncommon in the set, so it's worth keeping an eye on. Parting Gust maybe also. Like DJ, you're right. There's also the haste prowess. Instant sorceries cost 1 less to cast. Otter Wizard. That's is it? I don't know if that's a card that could be playable these days, but yeah, there are some cards that could become breaking bolts, but right now, just the banner. DJ, Jason, what are you looking at?
I got a good one. I think this is unguessable.
Oh.
This is a common from Murders at Karlov Manor Commander set. Nothing else. This is the only printing of this card. I'll give you green. I will give you Hell, I'll give you 2 CMC. Its mana
suck.
value is 2.
You suck.
This is a common from Commander Murders at Karlov Manor. It has no other printings. It's an enchantment. I'll throw that out there.
Confectionery.
No.
This is MKM, right?
Yeah.
Technically, this set is MKC, but yes.
Man, what are you doing with your life?
I am helping people find this $4 common from this Commander Precon.
You gotta like move to Philly, start a noise band, listen to Animal Collective,
Move in with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air after that.
make hot sauce.
I will take all of these suggestions in stride and take my debut for Breaking Bulk because none of you were.
Wait, I'm not done.
What,
I'm thinking.
cheating?
I mean, looking
You're
it
not
up.
done cheating.
I'm not done cheating.
Let me make my
thinking.
stupid segue. None of you are on the trail, which is the name of this card.
Oh.
On the trail is a 1 and a green enchantment. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield top. This is a very Jason-esque card for Commander players. Yeah, Jason's seeing this for the first time. Card is around $3. It just spiked earlier, around a month or so ago. Prior to that, it was still a Breaking Bulk. It was like 50 to 75 cents. Right now, they are selling for anywhere from $3 to $5 a piece. And
15
again,
copies selling a day, by the way.
this is a card with very low supply. It is only in maybe 1 or more precons from this set. I don't know how many precons it's actually in. It could be more
No,
than
this
one.
card
But
is sweet.
Also in collector boosters as a full art.
Oh,
sure.
there you go.
I mean that does meaningfully affect the supply, right? Like,
Yeah.
was it so?
And that version is up to about $3.50.
Yeah.
Sure.
That doesn't denigrate the quality of your pick. It just is a worthwhile
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
That the regular ones are probably going to be worth a lot more.
I have a feeling a lot of people just learn about this card's existence for the first time. My Roko found it, and I was like, I've never seen this card before in my life.
It has good flavor text too.
Yes.
Where the victim's journey ends, the investigator's begins. Kind of dark and twisted and a little bit
It
spooky
is that.
kabuki.
Yeah.
The extended art's actually even cheaper.
That wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me. I bet the supply of the extended art is actually higher.
Yeah, they probably open a lot more. People did not open that many Murders of Call of Commander precons relative to collector
Right.
boxes, I think. I think
Exactly.
that's just kind of the standard these days.
Agreed. All right, Jason, you get to finish up Breaking Bulk. What do you got?
I actually had one, but then I just realized it got reprinted. So, I guess
The
I
real
will
victim
go
of
with.
reprints.
This is a white Wilds of Eldraine uncommon.
Stroke of Midnight.
No.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? I think I would know if my pick was Stroke of Midnight.
Is it Stroke of Midnight?
I think I'd know if it was.
Do you know if it is?
I kind of don't want to say.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put Stroke of Midnight into the spreadsheet.
Well, that's
that
not a good pick.
Patrons at patreon.com/BSB
Man.
have access to. I'm going to go ahead and do that.
I realized right before it was my turn that mine was cheap.
What was yours?
Tenuous Truce.
Hey, I love that card. It
I
got
know.
reprinted?
It got reprinted in the Mrs. Bumbleflower deck. I'm like, a lot of people are putting this in the Mrs. Bumbleflower deck, but we still don't have a button for hey, note
card's
what
in the
is in the
precon.
precon. Yeah. So this has played it.
Bonus break.
Let's play it a decent amount alongside Stroke of Midnight, but this is a black card from Conspiracy 1. It's a black
Conspiracy
uncommon
Original.
sorcery. Conspiracy 1.
I bet it makes
Is Capital
someone.
Punishment a rare?
No, I don't know.
I bet it makes someone the monarch.
It's not
I don't
capital
think-
punishment.
I think it's a card where you vote, and it's like
Does have Will of the Council.
black and a colorless sorcery. You vote and players lose life. Is that the one? That's the only card I can think of from that set.
Nope. There's a cycle. This is the uncommon.
Is this the one where it's like players discard 2 cards for each like they vote for someone to discard 2 cards per vote.
Bite of the Black Rose. Yeah. Each
Oh,
player
nice
votes for
job.
sickness or
Nice job.
psychosis. If sickness gets more votes, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. If psychosis gets more votes or it's tied, each opponent discards 2.
I like
I
this
played a
card because
conspiracy draft recently, so
I like this card a lot because it implies psychosis is not a mental health disorder. It is a choice.
Yep. Do you want to be sick in the head or sick in the stomach? And anyone who's ever been sick in the stomach is like, you know what? I'll try being crazy for a while.
I would not have guessed that this card was worth much money because it seems to me they would just always choose the option that's not bad for them.
Wasn't there a voting commander recently?
There are several voting commanders who either tip the scales or add more
The
votes to the
Valeyard
table.
from Doctor Who, which
And,
Will of the Council is a villainous choice or whatever. And
Tivit too.
Tivit, Seller of
Tivit, yeah,
Secrets.
sure.
Gotcha.
So it's like whenever people vote, you do things.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
I want to ask Jason something.
What did I do?
How much is this card on Card Shark?
Card Shark. You're making me. Did you say that because you already checked?
Yes.
Card Shark closed. Final goodbye, May 16th. Womp womp. I haven't been to
No!
Card Shark since May 16th.
no!
Wait, Corbin's taking this worse than Jason is.
Oh no!
I added this as a little footnote to make Jason sad, and Corbin is being heartbroken.
May 16th? Have I really not bought a card since May 16th on Card Shark?
I would believe that's in your range.
Of
yeah.
May 16th, 2016, like
No, I buy on Card Shark all the time because like nobody.
Jason, you got to get used to using the past tense here.
I bought cards on Card Shark all the time.
I'm gonna buy Card Shark. I'm bringing it back.
Well, I'm sure their email inbox is empty at the moment, so...
so was
You think
there
someone's
user
monitoring
base.
Do you think they need a content manager?
Alright, well, Corbin took that way harder than I did, but I think I have something to cheer you up, Corbin.
Okay, let's hear it, DJ.
I'm gonna post this in the voice text channel so everyone can click on it. But this is a little gem I found a few weeks ago that I thought you might appreciate.
All right, let's check this out.
It's a whole minute for you guys to listen to.
Well, I drank a million beers and got in my truck, and Lord, I'm drunk. And I ain't drove this bad in a billion years, and this rusty Chevy's a piece of junk. But baby, when it rains, I drink, and lately it's been raining a lot. So maybe you and me can link. But
I don't have
first gotta
TikTok.
get
It won't
to
let me
your
listen to it if I don't have TikTok.
I'm swerving and smashing into every tree and deer and hay till it's cowboy season. His torque tires are turning to mud, and the more I drink it, the more it floods. Oh lady, let me love you the right way. I need you on this country night, babe. Yeah, it's a 10-minute
Man, they really
from my
nailed
place,
Toby
but
Keith on
first
this
I
AI
gotta
voice.
make it out of my driveway.
This sounds like fucking Florida,
This
Georgia.
country living, it's what we do. We're fishing and grilling our cowboy boots. And
Does
girl,
Corbin have a
I gotta
history
see
of drunk
that body
driving?
tonight, but first I gotta learn how to fucking
I love
drive,
country
'cause
music.
baby,
Jesus, that's so accurate. That is so accurate.
That was amazing. I've actually heard that before, DJ. This one did cross my feed before today, and it is objectively a banger, as they say. Okay, like that's
the more I
amazing.
drink, the more it rains.
In their pants as they are slumped over the steering wheel against a tree.
You remember that commercial where like people were driving drunk and the cop pulled them over and their car was like full of martinis and shit?
The door opens and it's just like...
Yeah, it's
fully
like,
pours
oh.
out.
If you're drunk,
that was great,
we will
DJ.
catch you. I'm like, eventually.
It's not an empty booster pack, but that was pretty good. I liked that.
JJ, if you can download this and put it into the...
They've been setting up DUI checkpoints for decades and they haven't caught me.
Let people listen to this on their inebriated car ride back from the wherever, and
From the bar, because what are you gonna do? Leave your car at the bar? How are you supposed to get your car home from the bar? You close one eye so you don't see double, and you put your thumbs on the lines on the road, and you just keep it between your thumbs. And then you hit a kid on a tricycle, and you're like, why was a kid on a tricycle out at 2 a.m.? But it's not 2 a.m. It's 3 p.m., and you're on a golf cart, and it's Disney World, and your pants are missing.
That's the average Disney World experience, to be honest.
It's too hot.
Place on Earth, baby.
It's too hot. It's like, and I'm not paying $7 for a Fresca, and then you got a heat stroke.
Of all the places that you could pick to be, I would not pick to be at Disney World, but I would pick some of these picks of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Oh. Ugh.
Boom! Look at that.
Was,
These picks
that
of
was
the week.
decent, Jason. You.
No, I liked
There
it.
was-
Yeah,
there was, like-
they hate all of them. That's the
We
thing.
need a
They
little
hate
bit
all
of a
the
perineum
segues.
between the warm-up analingus of
You
Breaking
can't say
Bulk
that. You
and
can't
the
say that.
We need a taint of the
Can't
week.
say that.
yeah.
My taint of the
called
week
taint.
this week is
God, you could use pictures of. You could actually have a taint.
We
of the
just
week.
need
That's
a
what I
we
thought
need a
of
little
when-
bit of a taint. There was no taint.
That's what I thought of when you said it. Oh man, go ahead,
Did you
Cass.
think taint
What
when I
is the
said
pick?
perineum?
my pick of the week is Tainted Sigil. It's not actually. My pick of the week is Doorkeeper Thrall. Little flash torp orb on a guy, seeing pretty substantial legacy play at this point with Phyrexian Dreadnought and Stifle and all that good jazz. Also,
Sick.
kind of a standard staple. It's a sideboard card. I wouldn't say it's incredible, but it's seen played in the Esper decks previously. Card sees play in Modern from time to time with Null Drifter and Flage, and it turns out if you put Torpor Orb on a creature and give it flash, it's going to see play.
Torpor.
Torpor Orb.
Torpor.
Also, Torpor Orb got reprinted, and so that card's worth less now. So there is some competition in that space, but I think this card is unique enough that it's not going to fight too much with it. And also, like we keep saying, Mirza Karlov Manor was not the most open of standard sets. It was obviously opened a lot, but, you know, it's also 8 months old now or something. 7 months old. How does time work? Listen, they can't all be bangers knocked out of the park. Sometimes you got to have your bread and butter pick of the week.
I'm sorry.
That's
I
what
was just
Doorkeeper
No,
Thrall
I
is.
think it's.
I was
I think
thinking about
it's
how
great.
Torpor Orb sounds like Eminem lyrics. Because you got a
Torpor
Torpor
Orb.
Orb down on the floorboards, you floor Taurus.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. You're not so Slim Shady over here.
I'll just say that
that's
I
mean.
don't get it and move on.
I mean,
I'm
from the good part of
I have
Michigan.
I've got a pick that's a reprint of a pick here. But yeah, Karlov of the Ghost Council. Ravnica remastered version bottomed out at about $4.50. It's climbed to about $5.50 since then. This card was once $25 back in the day when it was in Commander 2015. The Ravnica remastered reprint is the only reprint it has, and there are several versions of it. But just that the baseline version, pretty cheap. And as a matter of fact, the retro frame version of it.
Cheap implies a lack of quality. You say affordable.
Affordable, good point. Inexpensive. Karlov of the Ghost Council retro frame's only $3 if you're into that, but seeing some movement on the reprint there.
Sure. I will.
DJ, what do you
I
got?
will also take something that was reprinted in Ravnica Remastered. Funnily enough, Rhythm of the Wild used to be like a $10 uncommon. I don't know if it ever hit that market price, but it was definitely selling
It was
that
expensive.
for on direct for a while. Rhythm of the Wild was in LCI Commander, that is Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander, as we just went over with my Breaking Bulk. Recons are not necessarily open as frequently as some other cards in booster packs nowadays. Both the retro version of this and the LCI version are around a couple bucks. But again, this is like, has history of being an $8 to $10 card. Ravnica
Very
Allegiance.
good, but it's very reprintable.
It's got the slow climb effect, I think.
It's like the number 3 card in that set, and they know that.
It's definitely reprintable. That said, like DJ, I mean, it's done nothing but climb. So like, since it was reprinted,
I don't think you're
I,
nuts. I don't per se.
It's reprintable for sure. They do need to find a gruel product to put in, which cuts down the number of things it can be in a little bit. It's not like a soul ring.
But every time we say that, they just add more products.
Sure, and that is just...
They could go in a bunch of products. That's fine. It would have to, right?
Yeah.
Like,
sort of an addendum to Rhythm of the Wild is the card Invigorating Hot Springs exists, and it is worse in a lot of ways.
yeah.
But it does kind of a similar
cool,
thing.
huh?
That card is fully bulk. And that is the kind of card that I wouldn't mind also picking up.
Invigorating Hot Springs.
Yeah, I'm just reading. Sorry, just reading this one. Yeah, the Hot Spring is it's the same mana cost. It enters the battlefield with 4+1 counters on it. Modified creatures you control have haste. Remove a counter. Put a counter on a thing. So, yeah, it is very similar in some ways. Could be better.
Obviously, Rhythm of the Wild has the can't be countered clause on it, which is pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
modified creatures you control have haste. It's texturally different enough, but it always makes, whenever I think of Rhythm of the Wild, I think of this card.
Sure.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like this is the kind of card that Jason could obviously elucidate this for me, but I feel like this is the kind of card that is in almost every single deck that Rhythm of the Wild is also in.
It could be, yeah. And it also goes in green blue, which is where you really want an effect like this. So if you're not playing red in those decks.
Well, it's a green-red card.
No, Rhythm of the Wild is not the one you mentioned.
Invigorating Hot Springs is a green.
They both are.
Both the same.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, they both are.
Oh. That's
Also, Rhythm of the Wild does not feature some sort of ape bathing in a hot spring, which is... he looks so comfy. He looks so chilled out. I wish that were me. Oh, to be an ape bathing in a hot spring.
No one's stressed in a hot spring.
That's so true.
Unless you see somebody from the male side of the hot spring peeking over the top of the wall.
All right, Jason, you have the honors to wrap it up this week. What are you looking at for pick of the week?
The struggle for Project Purity is real. And so is this card priced under $4. The struggle for Project Purity, a card I was just about to check Card Shark to see if they had sub $3 copies. It's a modular card. It's one of those choose one, and those are always good. And this one is better than most because it is a group hug card. And Mrs. Bumbleflower is playing a lot of this card. But any blue-based group hug deck in the future, which is 100% of them, is going to want a card like this. And also, it's just good as a deterrent in a blue deck. So Struggle for Project Purity is a very good Magic card. And if you can get it under $4, you should do that because it's $4 on a couple of sites, but not all of them.
Sure.
There you go.
Boom.
And as a reminder, everybody, you can get these picks and all the information on them via our sponsor, MTGstocks. That is where we go to look at all these graphs we're talking about, all this price history, all of finding these gems and predicting where things are going. It is all a result of the data we have access to via MTGstocks.com. You can also check out the premium side of the website to have access to even more tools, the ability to set up custom alerts and set up a custom tracking lists as well. A lot of power there. So check out the premium side of MTGstocks.com.
Custom tools for DJ and myself also. It's stuff that we've reports we've wanted to see and stuff like that, and that's available to the premium subscribers too. So I mean we wouldn't shill this hard for MTG Stocks if we didn't all use it every day.
Yeah, well, check that out, everyone. And I think that does it for us this week. Anything you all want to touch on before we get out of here? All right, I'm hearing crickets.
Yeah, don't put us on the spot like that. That's bad fucking. That's like
why would I put you on the spot on a show where you're on the air on the spot?
That's the verbal equivalent of eating goldfish crackers in the microphone.
Why would I give you a chance to just in a show where you talk to have the opportunity to talk?
Those weren't crickets you were hearing. Those were the sounds of another AI country song.
That first one was great. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you to our sponsors, MTG Stocks, and of course, Coalesce Apparel and Design, where you can use the gift code Brainstorm Brewery. You get 10% off your order. Go check that out. And of course, if you want to support us directly, which is what truly makes this podcast possible, you can go to patreon.com/BSB. We appreciate all of you listening. We appreciate, this has been a fun episode. I appreciate the three of you. It's nice to have all of us here together. Again, I know it's been kind of hit or miss over the past couple months, so it's nice to have the whole brew crew together for an episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.